Hello everyone, it's me once again, Ferdinand, the cardboard stacker, and this time I'm going to look at Ganymede. So this is a game, I believe it's going to be published by Lucky Duck. It's been picked up by Lucky Duck, it's going to be distributed that way. But it's from I believe the company Sorry We Are French. Yeah, and so this is kind of like a pre-copy of what you might find. So it might be just a little different from what you might get, but this is what I have here. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this game and see what's all about. And before we move on, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on that bell notification button to stay up to date with our videos. In Ganymede, players are space shuttle companies planning to send settlers to unexplored planets in the galaxy. To do this, you'll need to send settlers of different skills from Earth to Ganymede, where the launch site is. The main goal of the game is to score the most points by bringing settlers to one of two spots in Ganymede. They are either looking for 3 settlers of one color or 4 settlers of different colors. Once you brought the required amount of people, they're sent off and you get the settler ship that was underneath. So let's see how it's done. There are 3 different actions that you can do on your turn, but you can only do one of them. First, you need to take a settler tile and place it on your board. Most of the time, you can place 1 or 2 settlers on the board, and you may get a bonus effect. If you already have the tile of the same type on your board, you'll receive a bonus to do that tile again. And again, if you have 3 of the same on your board. Earth can only hold up to 6 settlers, but next, you'll need to use the shuttle card to send people from either Earth or Mars to their next destination. The card you use is added to your player board. You need to have the exact number of settlers to use a shuttle card, then you activate the effect on the bottom. If you have matching cards on your board, you can do this effect again and again with the number of cards you have the same of. The last action you can do is discard your settler tiles to do 1 to 3 basic actions. You can either recruit settlers, replace a settler, or draw new ships. If one of the ships are full with the correct number of settlers, it launches. If one of your ships are full with the correct number of settlers, it launches, and the card underneath scores at the end of the game. You set that card aside and place another card from your hand to launch. Sometimes you'll gain reputation and you'll move the cube up the reputation track. As you move your cube, you'll gain points, and if you pass or move on the gear icon, you get a free bonus action. Once a player launches his 4th ship, and either the Earth or the Mars shuttle draw piles are empty, the game end is triggered. The game ends so that all players have the same number of turns, and at the end, the player with the most points wins the game. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the presentation of the game. The art, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing very surprising. It's not really something that is out there. The whole overlook, it doesn't take a lot of room on the table, which is nice. It's, I would say about a medium area of playing in there. You do have to move cards. The meeples make it look a bit more generic than it actually is. I mean, this is a game about space launching, and more of like a futuristic science fiction kind of story in there. But, well, with the meeples and stuff, I mean, they're really bright color coded. So with those, it makes the game just take away from the theme in there, and you're just moving people as resources and trying to score that way. Now, the game itself is a light sort of game. I mean, it's a bit more lighter than, I would say, than Splendor. Not as too much on mechanics like on Stone Age or something like that. So somewhere in between, around there. I mean, there is a little bit of engine building. I like that it's a very simple kind of game where you just only do 1 action per turn. I would say even to go as far as saying that even some families might be interested in playing this game. It's kind of cool of building it there, and I think the concepts are easy enough for them to understand. One of the really cool things in the game is the engine building. There's really two two parts of it. First of all is getting those tiles and trying to engine build there. There's like your shorter term engine, and then you got your longer term engine, which is trying to collect the cards as you're doing the shuttles. It's a little bit more hard to go through, but you can get a lot of things done if you're able to pull it off and try to get the matching colors as much as possible. So I think that's really cool. I think there is a good amount of replay in there, and they're mostly going to be related to the spaceship cards that you are going to launch your settlers in. I mean, there's some cards that just give you points, but some cards that are going to give you extra points for basing it on a different color, increasing your reputation, and all that jazz. One of the things you have to overcome in learning the game is that it is language independent, and therefore there's going to be quite a bit of iconography. I mean, there's not too much in there, but there's a good number that you're going to still be wondering what they're going to do, and especially the scoring cards of when you're first playing the game, like which ones are the ones I'm going to put down and what's going to be ones that be good for me. So I mean, the game is has 3 different languages, and then the text itself, and the cards and all the icons, and there's no text in the game, is language independent. So that's where that comes from. But learning those icons, you'll get used to it very fast. At least you can understand them, and they kind of pretty much mean what they do. A frustrating thing about the game is the settler caps. Now both Mars and Earth has a cap on the settlers, or just the resources themselves in there. I mean, Earth can only hold up to 6, and then Mars can only hold up to 5. And yes, it is part of the game, but I just feel like that capping, when somebody gets more of the settlers onto their planets, you have to say, oh, now some of your guys have to leave. It's kind of frustrating, and I also think that it kind of bogs down the game as well, because you have to choose which ones in there. You're looking at what are the ones they're going to ship out to Ganymede and all that thing in there. So having that cap in there, I just wish it wasn't there, but yes, I understand it is part of the gameplay. And the last thing is that I know this might frustrate people, but there is a amount of luck in the game, and that, of course, this is a game that has cards in it, and it's going to be the luck of the draw. I mean, not just about the spaceships, but also the shuttles, the Earth and the Mars shuttles, of what you can pick, what you can get. I mean, some people are just completely stuck on what they have on their planets until they either exchange their settlers to a different color, or just going to have to wait and do just a regular action until something comes up. And then, of course, the way the turns work, it may not be your turn anymore and that thing is already gone. So, oh well. Some scoring cards can give more points to other people with a certain different color, and those kind of cards always kind of show up on that person's turn. Or they're just going to just take cards because they're going to pull off the engine in that. So some of them is frustrating to some of these people. Now, as for my final thoughts of the game, I think it is quite clever on how they made a rather simple game into one that has a bit of engine building in it, and how to move the meeples and how to score, and it doesn't take too long to play. I mean, you're only going to score only up to 4 of those spaceship cards, and that'll be it. The game, I think the game plays about to 20 to 30 minutes, so that's a good length of a light game, or even a family style game for that. So I think this game is great, and if this is something that is up your alley, I suggest that you check it out. This video has been brought to you by our sponsors on Patreon. Thanks for becoming a stacker and helping us keep this channel going. Visit our Patreon page to learn how you can too become a stacker. And thank you for watching. Come follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and check out our website, thecardboardstacker.com. I'm Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker, reminding you to keep on stacking games.